back with our Foundation Dominion, this time with a new setup and more information about the stock. Alrighty guys, we're back with Guy Miner. Thank you for joining us, Guy.
It's been fun today.
And this is a fun rifle, isn't it?
It is. It is a lot of fun. Accurate, easy to shoot.
Yep.
Very comfortable rifle to shoot.
So you guys might remember our build that was dubbed Shorty. Shorty was all about taking a .308 to a really short barrel length. You all voted for 16 inches. I gave you guys the option of 16, 18, or 20 inches. Overwhelmingly, people wanted to see the 16-inch configuration. So we're going to recap that a little bit. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the Foundation Dominion stock. You've seen the Dominion stock and you've seen the Genesis 2 stock here on the channel. We've done a bunch of stories with the Genesis 2, so we wanted to kind of compare the two and then kind of wrap up with our thoughts about the two different configurations that we've tested here. Okay, so to review, this is the barreled action from Shorty. And what's funny is, even with a suppressor attached, it is quite a bit shorter than our 6.5 Creedmoor build. Now, the 6.5 Creedmoor build was in a Genesis 2 originally. So we thought, why don't we take that barreled action, totally different kind of experience and set of capabilities compared to Shorty, and throw it in here.
Right, and put it in a smaller, lighter, more compact stock, more traditional stock, and see how that works out.
So. We did different types of shooting, which we'll elaborate on in a little bit, and found that it was a good complement to the Shorty build. So if you want to know more about Shorty, definitely check out the build, which includes the chambering process, a bunch of good stuff. We showed bat igniter here on the channel for the first time, which is bat machines, more affordable, tactical action. This guy over here is built on the TR, which is the tactical action. Lots of really good stuff. Okay, so a little bit of review, and there's several portions of this video that are more or less high-level summaries of what we really deep dived on in the Foundation Genesis 2 overview. I talked to John Kyle Truitt, the owner, for quite a while during the formulation of that storyline, and really had an opportunity to kind of pick his brain about a bunch of things. So Foundation itself is a family-run company. And what's great is not only is it run by the family, but they're a part of the precision rifle community, which is also, in a sense, like a family.
It is.
Yeah. And Foundation supports the community quite a bit with their involvement in matches and a bunch of other stuff. So really, really good people, great family. Micarta. Okay, so Micarta is a really interesting material, and it's what all of the Foundation stocks are based on in terms of this block of material, more or less denim and resin. It's a really interesting concept to take this block and just machine it into a stock, you know?
Yeah. Very dense, heavy material, very strong material. I am more familiar with it for knife handles. And when I first saw this stock, I thought it was wood.
Right.
I really did. It was like, now wait a minute, that's not wood.
You kind of have to zoom in to see the fabric texture.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, really? Yeah, because obviously it really does look like wood grain.
Yeah, it looks like wood grain, and it's the different layers of the fabric.
Yep. And there are some qualities that micarta has in common with wood, right? It's insulative, right? If your cheek is on the stock in cold weather while you're hunting, it's not going to freeze to the side like it might with an aluminum stock or something like that.
Got to grow a beard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little bit of protection there. It doesn't conduct heat or electricity.
Right.
It has a more traditional appearance. What's different about micarta is that it's entirely consistent, right? Wood has grain, and wood responds to temperature and
moisture,
humidity,
yes.
right? By warping and bending, and sometimes you get cracks and other funny phenomena, or your point of impact shifts or whatever. Micarta does not have those problems.
It's just inert.
Exactly. Yep, it is completely consistent throughout. And then it has a particular way of absorbing recoil that is also unique. I mean, did you feel that, how dead this feels when you shoot it?
Yeah. It's not, there is no movement in this. It is just solid, and it comes right back. Also, it's very nice, easy to control recoil.
Yes.
Of course, We've got a rather large, heavy barrel on here and a muzzle brake too, but even with the short 308, it tracked really nice.
Yep. So it's a really fun material. It's really cool. I'm looking forward to distressing one of my stocks, and Foundation offers what's called the coyote finish, which is kind of a bit of a distressed look to it or whatever. But I'm going to take things a bit further because I've got a couple scratches on one of my Genesis 2s, and I think it looks really cool. So I'm going to do a little bit of the sort of Stevie Ray Vaughan on his Stratocaster look and feel, but not quite that extreme. That'll be pretty good. So Dominion came along fairly recently in terms of the chronology of different Foundation stocks. A little bit more traditional hunting stock form factor, right? You've got the angled grip, you've got no cheek riser, right? Just really simple, straightforward, clean.
Yeah. And when I was talking to John Kyle about this, he was telling me that they got a lot of requests for a stock more like this, more traditional, as opposed to the competition type stocks that they've been specializing in at Foundation. And so this is the answer to a lot of requests. It looked and felt great to me the first time that I got a hold of it.
Yeah, it's a bit more compact. There's a little bit more room here between the trigger and the grip.
Yep.
If it's cold weather and you've got gloves on, for instance, a little bit more allowance for that.
Yeah, more allowance for that. No, the whole thing feels good. I like it because I've never completely taken to the vertical grip. I had one of those a long time ago, and it's fine. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. But you know me, I'm mostly a hunter.
Sure.
And this reminds me of an improved hunting stock because of the material. I like it.
Yeah, it's an interesting in-between place between a more traditional ultralight stock. You've got carbon fiber stocks now and fiberglass stocks and all that, but made out of a more dense material, but with cutouts, right, to optimize that weight. And right here we've got the Anschutz rail on the bottom. If we look over here towards the bot stock, you can see some of those cutouts. This has the M5 inlet. We're running the Hawkins Precision Hunter DBM and the Hunter Mag. Is that not an awesome piece of gear?
It is slick. I really like that. Yeah. Just a good stock, honestly. I felt really good about using the whole thing. And the magazine was great. Had that on a different rifle that I hunted with not long ago.
The full custom Bergara, right.
Oh, I know where I was going. I'm sorry, I forgot there. The cutouts can be deleted. They can be left solid if you want the stock to weigh a little bit more.
Gotcha.
It'll pick up close to another pound.
Right.
So leaving that micarta in there instead of milling it out.
And so you'll be at what, 3 pounds 5 ounces on the low end, up to about 4 pounds in the standard config.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So that was good to know that can be done. Although I like the weight of it the way it is now.
Yep.
So that's good.
13.5-inch length of pull and spacers available to adjust that. If you have a larger frame, that's one thing that you could customize and that kind of thing.
One of the interesting things I learned in my little interview with John Kyle was how much time got spent into the grip angle and grip shape. And he said that it was easily twice as much time getting this grip right as it was in any other part of the stock. So yeah, they wanted to get the angle right. They wanted to keep a place here where you can put your thumb and put a little bit of forward pressure if you want to do that. So a little tiny bit of a palm swell involved in there, not a lot. Yeah, and it is comfortable.
Yeah, and I like the attention to detail. You've got the bolt cut out there,
right?
So that when your bolt goes back, you can remove the bolt and not have to do anything special there. Obviously really nice when you're going to go to clean the bore and whatnot in the field and all that.
Yeah.
Yep, and a variety of inlets available for even certain specific Remington 700 clones.
Right.
We requested the bagged igniter. It works fine with the TR in this particular case, so that's good stuff. So looking at the form factor to run through the features again, shim adjustable length of pull, fixed comb with the bolt cutout, CNC machined inlet. They do an outstanding job on their inletting, and because of that, you don't have to bed these.
That amazed me when you told me that, and then I talked with John Kyle about it just a little bit, and the fact that you could just take that action, drop it in there, torque down the screws and
Good to go.
and shoot very accurately.
Yes, we've had several stories where we featured really, really tight groupings, including this 6.5 Creedmoor build. Really, really good stuff. This one has the narrower forend, and what's interesting is these sort of side cutouts. When you grip it, your fingers naturally, it's like an enhanced grip, you know. It'd be really hard to lose the rifle with it slipping out of your hand.
True.
And when you're hunting, you never know what's going to happen. It could be icy, you know.
Oh, I've taken some
rain.
falls when I've hunted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken some falls and actually tossed my rifle to my partner one time. I knew I was falling. Yeah,
Oh boy.
Take it.
Take it.
Yeah.
Yep. Solid micarta construction. That angled grip that you're talking about, where a lot of the R&D effort went into, and then standard swivel studs here at the front and the back. We're using one for the bipod. This is a Harris S-BRM here, but we could also use a sling, obviously, which I would, of course, have if I was out hunting. And then we had an Arca rail section put here on the back for use on a tripod. So the idea is go light and simple with the Harris S-BRM swivel stud bipod, and then just have this section. I like it right back next to the magazine, you know, for optimal balance on a tripod, but you could also get a full-length Arca rail from Foundation separately if that's, you know, something that you want. This is what I like about Foundation, is you can make it your own. There's all sorts of different stocks that they sell, different options depending on which model that you're looking at, and it's good stuff. So the Anschutz rail is standard. The finish that they put on these is really pretty amazing. You know, it's hand sanded, and it has a really, really nice appearance. It looks kind of like an oil rubbed wood finish, maybe.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, as far as practicality, it's way leaps and bounds above that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to try one.
Especially in harsh weather.
Yes, harsh weather is a big deal, and these are impervious to water. So that's definitely always a good thing. I don't like to be stressed out about rain if I've got a really nice rifle like my precious Weatherby Mark V, right?
That thing's gorgeous.
I wouldn't take it out in adverse weather hunting. You know, I would like to hunt with it, but I would be particular about the weather. Maybe I bring that plus something else. And if the weather's good, I use it offhand, standing. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah. This, though, you don't have to worry about. And what I thought was cool about this, let's talk about the shooting a little bit.
Okay.
So, you know, we did our shooting with Shorty, and we had a ton of fun with that. Absolutely. But just recently, we put the 6.5 Creedmoor barreled action in, and we went up to the Ultimate Reloader Ridgeline shooting range. And we thought, let's mix it up a little bit, right? Let's, you know, shoot some offhands, like standing, kneeling, sitting, off of a tree, off of a tank trap. And that was a really good opportunity to take this in a completely different direction than we did last time.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to go do all that again with the Shorty 308 back in here.
That's a great idea.
I think that would be a real nice, handy little hunting rifle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I really liked the way that it shot. I didn't expect it to feel so natural off of the tank trap and off of the tree. It just felt natural. And I typically do go with a vertical grip, right? So that it surprised me that didn't feel a little bit awkward, but I just really liked the balance of it.
It was
sat
nice
on the bag. You could leave it sitting on that tree branch. It wasn't going anywhere.
No, it wasn't.
Right.
I remember both of us just kind of walked away from it. Yeah, it's still there.
Exactly. And for a hunting rifle, I really like that, the balance, you know?
Oh, yeah, and I think the same thing would happen if you had it on a tripod and you had it, say you're hunting from a blind.
Yep.
And you had that thing permanently set up there and everything. You can get off the rifle a little bit, maybe do some scanning with your binoculars, looking for your game or whatever. Yeah. And that rifle is still going to be there right where you need it to be.
Yep. And this Berger ammo, this stuff is awesome. This is the 140. Yeah, 140 hybrid. We've done a lot of hand loads with this ammo, but this you can get off the shelf, which is really nice.
It is. It has always shot well for us.
Yeah, the hybrids are absolute tack drivers. Okay, so for quick review, why don't we do the comparo between Genesis 2 now and Dominion? Those are the two stocks that we've really had our hands on. Okay, So this visual is directly from that Genesis 2 deep dive story. I mean, the biggest things that you're going to see here that are going to stand out that are differences, the overall shape with the vertical grip. It's got more more mass to it. There's the bag hook, the cheek riser, the fixed QD cups. There's actually quite a few differences here.
Much wider forend.
Yes, yes. And for PRS, I think that's kind of for a stock as opposed to a chassis, that's my choice.
Yes.
Genesis 2 is where it's at. So this table shows you kind of a side-by-side of some of the features and parameters, and we've highlighted in yellow where there are differences. So, Genesis 2, short action or long action. Dominion, short action only. Both have Remington 700 clone inlets and more. Both are available with right and left bolt configuration. The bottom metal inlet. So Dominion, Hawkins Precision M5, which this Hunter DBM fits into perfectly. For Genesis 2, there are more options for other bottom metals. Bag hook, again, not available on Dominion, but available on Genesis 2. The weight is definitely a big difference. Lighter on the Dominion, 3 pounds 5 ounces to 4 pounds.
And Genesis I think the Genesis was up 5 pounds and up.
Yeah, it's quite a bit heavier for sure. And then the finishes, which we'll talk about in just a moment, all of the finishes are available, and it really changes the personality of the rifle. These colors look quite different, and I really like the fact that you can get a different, complete vibe off of the rifle just by picking a different color. And then custom engraving is available on Genesis 2, which they did for me on one of them. The cheek riser has the Ultimate Reloader logo on it, which is pretty cool, but not available on Dominion. The Dominion is kind of business first, right?
It has less options.
Yep.
I suspect that one of these days they'll have available in a long action.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. You know me and my 30-06s and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, definitely. The old 30-06, it's hard to shake it. It just keeps, it's got the
For
staying
me.
power, you know what I mean? And for a lot of people, for good reason. So you've got natural, which is what we've got here, dark, coyote, and dark distressed. And the dark distressed is what I have my Genesis 2s with, and I really like that color. But the natural definitely shows the micarta fabric texture, which looks like wood grain quite a bit more.
The dark distress reminded me at first, I was looking at that and I was saying, that's like a very old dark walnut.
Absolutely, yeah, that was my first thought
see
too.
that in some of those big custom rifles and all, some of the African rifles, just gorgeous with walnut. And of course it's not, it's micarta,
right.
But it looks good. It looks real good.
And when you scratch it, you see the lighter material shining through, which is pretty cool, and I'll definitely be taking a look at. Okay, so that's the colors. Between these two configurations, I think they're both perfectly valid. The 308 Shorty, great truck gun kind of thing, great compact hunter for maybe close quarters.
Much more portable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But what's nice about this being Remington 700 is, at least around here, we've got a lot of options. So we put a different barreled action in there, and all of a sudden it's a completely different rifle.
Very much so. It gained a lot of weight.
Right.
And but you've got that long-range precision that's so easy for the 6.5 Creed. It excels at that.
Yep.
And I shot a 308 in competition for a lot of years, and you're struggling out there. You push the range. Will it do 1,000? Yeah, it'll do 1,000. But you're working hard to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Things are getting a little falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, it's you're at the edge of the envelope.
Yep. Yep. So longer, leaner in terms of the cartridge, or shorter and fatter. Basically, two different choices. If I'm going to shoot suppressed, I definitely want the 308 Shorty.
Oh yeah.
If I'm going to shoot PRS style, of course, I'm going to go with the 6.5 Creedmoor config. And I would hunt with either of these. Like we were discussing when we went up to the Ridgeline range. If I'm going to be taking a prone shot, I would definitely rock this setup here. If I have to carry it around all day, I'm going to opt for Shorty.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Absolutely. This would be great, as I mentioned earlier, from a blind or from you've got someplace set up where you can glass and glass and glass and wait for that big old muley buck to come working his way up the ridge.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh yeah. How long till hunting season?
Not long now, not for bear.
No, it's coming right
August
up.
1st here in Washington. Yeah, that's good stuff. So here's what we'd like to know is, what do you think of the Dominion? You know, you've seen it here on the channel. You've seen it in this video, in our Shorty build series. What do you think of Dominion? Have you gotten your hands on one? Do you hunt with one? Do you have a buddy that has one, or are you just looking for one? Drop a comment and start that discussion. I don't know about you, but I think we're going to see this appear in more stories and hopefully do some great hunting with it. I think that'd be fun.
I think it could be in quite a few stories, and hopefully at least one or two of those will be hunting.
Yes. Very good. So thank you again, Guy.
Thank you.
This was a fun one to put together. To be continued. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.